Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spirituality in Everyday Life series on my Angel Club Facebook group. So, if you're a member, you can, of course, join me live and have a little chat with me, I suppose. Also, I will be doing mini card readings for those who join, those who want to have a card pulled, of course. And the reading will be sort of focused on the theme of the month. So that's how I'm planning on doing these spirituality and everyday life series for now, at least, anyway. And as you know, probably by now, that this month's theme was spiritual growth. So I've started these series this way and those monthly themes because I really want to include more of the work with angels than maybe I have till now. You know that I'm also busy with other stuff through my YouTube channel, which I'm also obviously showing through my Facebook group. But this group also, within this group, I want to focus on any messages and inspiration that angels want to share with us. So, anyway, moving on after this introduction. If you're watching, please say hi. I am using StreamYard again because, as you've probably also noticed recently, I keep having issues with seeing comments if I just go live straight through Facebook. So I just thought, why not keep it easier, simpler for myself? And I'm just going to use StreamYard. The only thing is that I then can't see your names. So I'm sorry about that. You need to just put your name first and then your message um, so that I know who you are. Okay, so with that spiritual growth, I feel like each month now that I'll be covering different topics, it's not just to talk about something, it's just to cover something that is happening for us all at that time anyway. So when I say for us all, I mean anyone who would be tuning in, anyone who would be following my work, because that's just how it works. You know, whatever you are following, then most likely more information will come to you around that subject, right? That's our law of attraction. So if you're listening to it, or if you're in my group, then most likely you are energetically aligned, let's say, with what I am sharing with you. So let me just grab some water. So, what is spiritual growth? I have shared a bit of a message on my Facebook group as to what inspiration I felt, I received when I asked angels as to what they would like me to write about spiritual growth. So I will just quickly read it out for those that maybe haven't seen it, or for those who might be watching this on my YouTube channel, as I will be putting it up there as well. So, so I'll just read the post. When I took a quiet moment and asked angels what is spiritual growth, I felt it as something we can all experience through the expansion of our heart center. Although this growth happens mostly through difficulties or even crisis in life, it's within your capacity to feel your heart's expansion that truly brings the spiritual growth to life. It is not something to be seen, it is to be felt. As spiritual beings living in human bodies, we all have a soul comprised of spiritual slash spirit's energy that knows no limitations or boundaries and loves unconditionally. This is a space which we can all tap into if we choose to do so. It will not fix our life because we're still meant to live it the way our soul desires to experience it. However, we can find solace, deeper understanding, and God's, universe's, or source's love that makes the whole life experience reach a completely different level of awareness. You'll know when you're growing spiritually by the capacity of your heart being able to expand and hold this high frequency of love that will just naturally shine through you, positively affecting those around you and yourself. So yeah, so that's it. I was just gonna read the next part, but that was actually just a message for my Facebook group. So that's basically what I wrote in the Angel Club group on the day when I pulled the card. But I suppose I just wanted maybe to add a few more bits to that message. I have mentioned in there quite a bit about our heart Spencer, our heart center, about the growth being felt, not necessarily seen, and also it's almost like I was talking about the expansion of our heart center, and I wanted just to say that spiritual growth can have many connotations, many different meanings to different people, depending on where we grew up, how we were raised, what environment we live in. Spirituality sometimes might make you think of religion, specific religion, or something that's very out there, like as if you have to follow a specific philosophy or, I don't know, religion in order to be called spiritual or grow spiritually, right? And otherwise, like you're not, which is not true because spirituality basically talks about consciousness. So our universal consciousness that we all participate in, we are all part of, really. It's not just participating, but we are made of it. So that includes our energy, our mental energy, our emotional energy also. It's all part of the intelligence of the universe, the intelligent consciousness of all that is, right? So when we're growing spiritually, it doesn't mean that we are becoming saints for sure. Definitely not. We are just growing and expanding in our awareness and understanding of the world and of ourselves to start with, because we can only understand the world if we first start to try and understand ourselves. So, hence, it's a lot about our heart center, our own experience, our own growth, our own energetics, the way that we feel within ourselves. And only based on that, we can then potentially see the effects of that in our external environment, because at some point we would be looking at life in a different, probably in a different perspective, with a bit of a expanded awareness, and that would then translate into our daily experiences. So this is quite a general description that I'm making now, but I hope that resonates with you if you're listening now or in the future. I would love to have some questions, but I don't think this is going to happen today. Let me just see something. However, if you do have a question, and because you're watching this sometime in the future, then please let me know. I always welcome comments, questions, and your personal stories. How does this spiritual growth look like in your life? Have you experienced it? Do you know even if you're experiencing it? How do you understand it? Things that are coming to my mind, I suppose, now to also share is just how would you know if you're growing spiritually? So would you know if your spirit, your soul is growing, and maybe it's also your soul is growing, but it's also becoming a lot more felt, by you on a daily basis. So you would feel the effects or the purpose of your soul a little bit more. Your intuition will be a little bit louder, depending obviously what you're doing, what your path is, etc., etc. You might also connect with spirit more at some point. So those are kind of like, I suppose, very maybe clear indications of the fact that you're growing spiritually. And it's kind of like when I talk about growth, spiritual growth, I kind of see it as your spirit growing within you. So it's no longer forgotten, it's no longer somewhere on the periphery of what you're doing in your life. It's actually a big part of who you are. You can finally feel, or just know even, that you are a soul in this human body. And so your experiences kind of look different. So you can then attract different signs from spirit coming to you in different ways. You will receive insights, ideas, inspiration. Most likely you'll be able to, at least to some extent, remove some of the maybe self-sabotage, some sort of blocks that you've been carrying all this time, or negative beliefs, beliefs that are just not serving your purpose, that are making your life a little bit harder, which in effect might make you feel a little bit calmer and centered once you have overcome those or understood them at least. When you're growing spiritually, also, yes, it's important to remember that it doesn't happen necessarily through experiences of unicorns and rainbow type, right? It often happens through crisis of different kind, or just some difficulty, challenges. We can only grow if we go through challenges. So they are definitely a part of this. It's actually interesting, I think, this month that this topic is being covered, and I kind of felt like talking about it this Saturday because on my weekly podcast discussions with Mel, we have covered the topic of spiritual awakening a little while ago, but also the one coming up will be about the signs of spiritual awakening. So, what you might experience when you're going through spiritual awakening. Through spiritual awakening happens, spiritual growth happens, right? So, yeah, so maybe listen to that as well. It will be available to listen to on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested, if maybe what you're going through is actually spiritual awakening, then check this episode out and it might answer some of your questions. So I think I'll leave it here. I don't think anyone is going to join right now to have and ask any questions or want a card pulled. So I'm just going to leave it as I don't want these series to be too long. However, these series are also an invitation for you to ask questions on the back of what I said. Even if you listened to what I just said and you thought this is very generalized, I still don't know what that means, and you would like some clarification, please put that down as well. I'm happy to do so. Just, yeah, be open, right? Let's just have an open discussion. Let's just, I'm doing these series for you guys to help you in any way that's needed. And so I'm happy to cover any questions that you might have. So yeah, that was short and sweet. As for me, as I usually can go on a tangent, but my tangents usually happen when it's a two-way conversation at least. So I will be finishing now. And yeah, I hope you're having a lovely weekend. And I shall see you next time. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye bye.